all right, well, what if you get to the next step and actually you're making too much? I'm currently at £170,000 in revenue.
Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the EMS podcast. That's an episode I've been very much looking forward to. Today, I'm here with Mike. I'm sure that you've seen him at least and like the last in the channel, My First 100K. And excited to talk about different topics today. Yeah, Mike, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. Mike, aka WestTGGX in the Discord group. Nice to virtually meet everybody, and hopefully you guys get some value from this short session with Mo.
Amazing. So today we're not going to talk much about how you made the 100K, the ad strategies and all this stuff. Surely we're going to touch on it a little bit during the podcast, but today I want to talk more about like your background, your life, what made you be so successful. And I think one of the major factors that makes you such a special person is the patience you have, because you joined the program back in March, as I remember, and for a very long time you didn't see the results that you were wishing for, but then all of a sudden it started picking up. So that's the first topic I want to talk about. Actually, sure. What made you join this mentoring program and why e-commerce mentoring?
So for me, I already had multiple kind of side hustles, and one of them was almost dropshipping. I say almost, it was, in the fact that the product I was selling, I'm still selling to this day organically, was neon signs, and that materialized from another side hustle that I had, which was selling event decor, and not selling it, sorry, hiring out event decor in my local area, which is Manchester in the UK. So my dropshipping journey morphed from a event hire business hiring neon signs to consumers, to then thinking, well, other people in this industry who have also got event decor and they also hire it out in other areas of the UK, they could buy these neon signs from me. Why wouldn't they? Mm-hmm. So I went ahead and I sourced somebody on Alibaba and I got in touch through WhatsApp, and now that's how that relationship has progressed. And that's my very first taste of dropshipping. And like everybody probably in this mentoring program, you've probably seen the Ecom King. That's how you came through the channel and the funnel. And I just thought, there's a ton here that I do not know. And I could take my neon signs into the stratosphere, basically. That hasn't happened because I haven't had time to implement my learnings from the mentorship into that business. But essentially that's why I signed up, because I thought I could use the skills that I learned to basically grow the business that was already doing very well organically through Instagram and other channels like that as well.
You joined the program, and then we discussed like your neon business, but then we decided like that you start testing products first, do the classic dropshipping, and how did that go for the first 3 months, I would say?
Yeah, the first 3 months, I mean, probably slower than normal people because I've got a full-time job, very high pressured, I've got two children. It was basically within to get to see any results, basically. So the first steps that I did was I tested 2 products. Not afraid of telling you what they are. They were basically an automated bottle cleaner for babies, and that sat well with me as a product because I have a baby, and I thought it was pretty cool. I sold maybe five pieces of that, and you start to get the bug, oh look, yeah, I've got a sale, and then all of a sudden you then hemorrhaging money because people aren't buying it, but you're wasting the money on the ads. And that happened with 2 products. The second product was a couch cover for cats, geared towards the older generation of people, I think, in terms of the look and the style of it. But when you look at the spy tools, other competitors looked like they were doing numbers, and I thought, okay, well, I could do something similar. Didn't work out until the third product, which I was very nearly going to give up because I hate wasting money. And I must have wasted maybe £1,200 in ads for my own fault because I didn't know when to let go of the product. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the key learnings of the mentorship is don't get attached to the product. If the data is not telling you what it needs to tell you, you just get rid of it. And I think that's probably one of the biggest learnings I had was, can the product, if it's not working, look at the data, get rid of it, move on, and don't have any attachment to it at all. Even though you think it's the best product in the world, it doesn't matter. If it's not selling, it's not selling. You've got to get out of there.
That's exactly what I want to discuss. Like I told you before, like I'm doing mentoring now since 2021, the beginning of 2021, and I think a lot of students who go through something similar, just like you, spending $1,200 on ads, not seeing the results they're wishing for, they get disencouraged and they feel like dropshipping is not working at all, and they leave. Like they never contact their mentor again. You
don't give it enough time, basically. And the problem is you have to be ready to lose money. It's a gamble at the end of the day. And it either pays off or it doesn't if you put in the time and the effort to develop yourself and learn new skills. And you've got to find the right product as well. That is the key thing here, isn't it?
Do you think it's losing money? Like the $1,200, is it losing money or is it learning money? Because you learned that some strategies don't work, and the easiest way to translate that, do you think you would have been successful testing your current winner as the first product, or do you think that the other two products, they gave you like sort of experience?
That's a good question, actually, because I did learn a lot of skills during the first two products, building the site, using the Pagefly template. Pagefly template didn't work for me in that particular product. Making small tweaks off discussions with you, making it look like it wasn't a scammy site and things like that. So maybe I wouldn't have done as well with the third product if I hadn't have gone through the pains of the first two and the learnings and putting my own videos together using CapCut. It's probably a good question, and I probably wouldn't have done as well if it was the first product that I just fell onto.
Exactly. So because as I can see, like your store looks much better now than the first one. Your ads, I guess that's like the biggest difference that made you succeed. Like your ads are amazing. And you also used like a special strategy to create your ads. And I think that all comes with time, and life is always like ups and downs. It's not always ups. And I think the downs were the first two products that you had to test. But I think you gained a lot of experience with that. And now, look at you.
And by no means, I'm not an expert by any means, but and to be fair, you're talking about the ups and the downs right now. I would probably say is a down. And we've spoke about this a couple of days ago, the fact that I was riding a wave for months and months and months, and just 60 to up to 160 orders a day, to then just dropping off the face of the earth. And I go back to the word of wasting money. That is what I've been doing over the last couple of weeks, because I've been trying to get the motion back, but people just aren't buying. So I've had to cut that back to stop wasting money. But it's definitely there's lows and there's highs, and there probably will be for some time as I'm building this brand essentially off the back of this product.
That's a super important point also to discuss now. It's not just wins that we're sharing now. We're sharing like actually what is actually happening. So you said you reached the 100K mark, and now after Christmas your sales started slowing down. So can you explain a little bit better what happened?
So I think I just got caught in the bubble of Black Friday and the gear up to Christmas. People were just spending money left, right, and center. And my phone was just like ping, 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 and I thought I'm going to be a millionaire by Christmas. Obviously that's not happened, but
not yet.
Then it just completely nosedived, and I thought, what am I doing wrong? Is there ad fatigue of people seeing enough of my adverts, and then I'm scrambling around trying to create new creatives or get other people to make them for me now. But then I'm always thinking, well, I can't just let this continue doing what it's doing. There needs to be a solution to this. And the two solutions I've come up with right now are decrease the budget, and secondly, create new creatives. So when I can start to gear it back up again in the next week or two, I've got new, fresh content I can put out there. So I'm always iteratively thinking, how can I make this better? I've already seen people are interested in the products. They've purchased a ton of them. So people want it. I've just got to make sure that I'm presenting it in the right way, basically.
Yeah, amazing. But it's like a normal thing. Like if you speak like to other mentors too, or to other people who do e-commerce or dropshipping for a longer period of time, Black Friday, Christmas, like are amazing times for sales.
Yeah.
But then comes like New Year's, the first week of the year, the second week of the year, where people aren't that much in a buying mood. That's why I guess also now for my brand, I also slowed down my ads a little bit to make sure that I'm not burning money, because out of experience, Q1 is a little bit slower. But then after like the middle of January, then you can start again, like with a new pair of with ads.
Yeah, and I guess just for context with everybody else, I don't expect to continue this wave because my product is a seasonal product.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm also thinking now, well, if I'm wanting to grow this brand off the back of this product, what can I start to develop or bring in as a new product line to support this one during spring into summer, and then come August time, actually make the product better that I've got already and get it ready for like August, September, because I made my first sale on the 17th of September for this winter product. So if I can tailor this product based on customer feedback super early on in the summer, I'll be ready for winter. I can hit it hard because I know people want it, and I can just scale the crap out of my ads probably a lot earlier, and I won't be as nervous because I know that people want it.
That's amazing. And when the first time you saw this product, did you think it could make you 100K?
No chance. And just for, again, the context of the whole conversation, there's lots of tools out there. I think Dropify, Peakster, so on and so forth. There's a lot of tools you can purchase or have access to. I actually found this product by simply browsing through Facebook, and the ad was served to me. I saw social proof, and I looked at the competitor, and I thought, I can do this better. And one of the key learnings from the mentorship is don't reinvent the wheel. Don't find the latest gizmo and gadget. Find something that's already selling, make it better. And that's exactly what I did. And I saw this product, and I thought I would have that myself. And that's how it started, basically. So yeah, there's multiple ways you can find a product, and don't just rely on sticking to the paid tools, because in my instance, didn't need it.
Did you face any major issues during your journey? Let's say you made your first 10K, your first 20K. Did you face any ad account bans or load?
100%. Some a second product. I must have been a competitor, basically said that I had nudity in my video, and Facebook just didn't care. And it took maybe 3 weeks for them to realize that there was no nudity in my videos, and therefore my ad account got unbanned. So that put a bit of a spanner in the works. What else did I have issue-wise? That was probably the main and only issue I had from memory. I don't know if you can remember anything from our conversations, but that was the main one. And it was frustrating because Facebook just didn't seem to want to help. And then all of a sudden, I managed to get through to the support through the chat online, and it took about a week after that to get unblocked, basically. And I've not had any issues, touch wood, since.
I can't remember anything else, but like that's also again something that 3 weeks your ad account was banned, and you still kept going and still believed in the product. And
well, the annoying thing as well at that point, I couldn't make any adjustment to any campaign, so money was just being burned, and I couldn't stop it. Like the whole account was still active, but I couldn't access it. I couldn't do anything with it, so it was a real bad time, basically. But at that point, I wasn't scaling it, so it wasn't crazy money, but still, it's money that I can't do anything with. I can't fix anything, so that was super frustrating for me, for sure.
Another thing I want to talk about is your product page. That's also something like that I try to teach my students always, like to test different variants of the product page, use different marketing angles and stuff like that. Is your product page for from the first sale till your first 100K the same, or did you make any changes?
Oh, I can't actually remember. I think I've changed it quite a few times, and I've changed the template multiple times, and I've since changed the theme to eCommerce. I think it's just called eCommerce. It's their main e-commerce theme, which I paid a couple of £100 for, but that's like the next level on top of the Ecom Kings theme. And for some time I was using Ecom Kings theme, and I was, I probably made 100K or more on that theme. So it's not that theme isn't great, but as I'm now scaling this brand, I wanted to do more with it, with more features, and with more features in that theme, it meant I don't have to pay for certain apps as well. So it's going to be paying for itself over time, because I won't be paying the subscriptions. But I guess to answer your question, I changed the copy in the page many times. And also what I think worked for me with this product specifically is I customized three things. The ad copy directly to the niche I was targeting. And I tried a couple of niches. The second thing was the ad creative, completely the same aspect. So in terms of 11 Labs voice, the language, the words I use were all geared towards that niche. And then the product page copy was all geared towards that niche. And because I was just testing the same product to multiple niches, I had multiple products on my Shopify store, exactly the same product, but the copy within it was tailored towards that niche. And I truly believe that was probably the turning point for me, because people were seeing the copy, it was relevant to them, seeing the product, it was all relevant to them. They were just following that same channel and they thought, this is the product for me, and then they purchased it. So, but since then, because I'm obviously wanting to grow this into a brand, I have changed or at least I've got one product that is a general product, because I can target people with specific, not specific things, but it means I don't have to have tons of products tailored for tons of niches. I can just try and have one. And so far I'm still getting sales. So I think initially that's what got me the first couple of sales that helped me think this is a product that's going to work.
Let's talk a little bit now about the Facebook ad strategy that you used, because that's surely something that our listeners want to know. Did you start with ABO? Did you start with CPO? Was it an Advantage Plus campaign? How did you scale? The basic questions.
So I started with the standard ABO with specific interests, £5 a day. I think I did maybe 4 interests at a time. So that was 4 ad sets within the ABO. I can't remember how long I gave it. It was whatever you told me, Mo.
4 days.
I think what you say is go up to the cost of goods price, or the price that you're selling it for. Exactly. If you're not getting the key attributes like add to carts, and the click-through rate's not great, and the CPC is not great, and the CPMs are high, then I would just turn off that interest, and I'd move to the next one. And then what happened in my instance was I went to a niche, and then I started to go into a sub niche of that niche, and I just continued doing that whole process, basically finding winning interests. And I think my metrics were, if I got to 7 sales, I then transferred it into what I thought was a CBO, but it turns out I don't think I'd actually set them up correctly. Created a new campaign, and within that campaign, I didn't tick the campaign budget optimization. So actually, I've got a bit of a mix of campaigns currently where they're at the separate campaigns, but they're not CBOs in the traditional sense, I think, is the right terminology, where Facebook is at a campaign level choosing where to spend it. I'd actually reset them up as ABOs essentially, but I didn't know that until the last couple of weeks, to be fair. So yeah, I did that when I got some winning interest. And then there's a couple of other methods, like Suraj. He has a particular method, which again is a campaign off the back of a winning interest from your ABO, and you just go in straight with £100. And if I've got this right, if your ROAS is above, I think it was 2.2 or 2.3, then you just keep doubling that budget, like almost day in, day out. But I actually got scared of doing that, so I didn't continue to snowball those and scale them. I got to a certain point, maybe like £300-400 per campaign, and I thought that's enough for me right now. Because also by spending more money, more people are buying, which means you've got more customer service to deal with, more parcels that can go wrong. There's a ton of other things that go wrong off the back of spending more money that you probably don't think about. Like, I can't show you down here, but I've got maybe 20 of my items here returned from customers that I'm now having to deal with. This is a parcel bag. I take returns to the post office. I've got a thermal label printer at the top here, so I've got almost a mini production of shipping my own things out when they get returned to me. The customer doesn't want an exchange, so I've got a product here I can just resell without using Hyperskew or CJ. So there's a ton of things that I'm doing that I would have never even thought of back in March. I don't know where we're going with this question because I'm just rambling on, but
if someone, for example, now, like, just to so how listeners can feel relatable. If someone has, for example, now an ad set that provides them 6 sales, what do you advise them to do?
So for me, I would create a new campaign with that specific interest. Make sure it's a campaign that's a proper CBO, but also don't be afraid if you wanted to test it, and don't make it a CBO. Just have its own campaign with 3 to 4 ad sets split evenly in terms of the spend with that interest. The winning ad creative. So you can do it 2 ways. Have the CBO with 1 ad set at £100, or you can have another campaign with like 3 to 4 ad sets with the same amount but split over 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, whatever it might be. And what I actually did in that instance, I don't know whether this was right or wrong, but seemed to work, is I monitored when I had a campaign that had 4 ad sets in it with the winning interest. If there was like 1 or 2 ad sets that weren't performing after like a week, I would just turn those off and I'd shift the budget into the other 2 that were performing. So they might have been £50 and £50, and then I just continued upping the budget every couple of days, basically on those winning ones. So I don't know if that's a clear answer or not. I tried multiple options, and I would probably advise to do the same. Really, one thing could work one day, and another thing could work another day.
Thank you very much, for the ideas. Now, I'll dive into more personal questions. Now you're officially a 6-figure dropshipping entrepreneur. What has changed in your life?
What's changed? Nothing's changed at all. I'm still doing the same stuff. I like to stay busy anyway. I'm always thinking what's next. And although I only sold my first product on the 17th of September, I've straight away, I'm already thinking, well, I've made this amount in revenue. That's probably another key point, by the way. I'm currently at £170,000 in revenue, but I'm nowhere near that amount in profit. And that's something that you guys need to be aware of. You're not, I've made 100 grand or 170 grand, but I haven't physically got that cash. And now it's about the cash that I do have, reinvesting that into the business to build a brand. And I'm starting that early doors, basically, because I know it's a winning product. How do I move on this and not sleep on it, basically?
Mm-hmm. One last question about the sales and everything. How much profit margin can someone realistically count with? What do you think?
Probably a bad question for me, Mo, because I'm bad with numbers. But I don't know, 20, 30%.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly like what we say too. Like, it's something between, for us, like if you do Facebook ads, 20 to 25%, and everything above you take it. So
all I look at is my bank account, and I've got cash in it, and I've paid off my American Express. So it's something's worked, and I've got money to play with, basically. The other thing to probably mention as well is because, especially in the UK, and it's probably the same in other countries, but once you hit a certain threshold of revenue, you have to pay VAT or value-added tax in the UK. So that's an additional 20% of, if I wouldn't have upped my prices, my profit margins essentially would have been gone. So I actually upped the price of my product to cater for that 20%. So that might have also had an impact on my dip in sales, because the product is like £6 to £7 more expensive. And that's something you don't necessarily think about when you've got your first product. You're getting sales, or what if you get to the next step and actually you're making not too much money, but you're making so much money you need to pay the tax man, and you've got to think about that sort of stuff in the future as well. I also set it all up legit, and I say legit because my neon sign stuff, I didn't have a limited company and all that sort of stuff, and I since have set that up. But when I started the dropshipping, I set up a limited company bank account. I've already got an accountant for other stuff anyway, so that was all sorted. But you've got to think of these things, because if it does take off for you, you need to be ready.
You have a full-time job, you have a family, you have kids, and a dropshipping store. How do you do time management? 2 kids. How do you manage your time?
2 kids, 2 dropshipping stores. How do I manage it? For me, I the way I relax is have my tea, kids go to bed, might watch a show with my wife one night, but then the next night I'll be on my computer, I'll be learning something, I'll be developing my site, I'll be doing customer service. So what was your actual question?
How did you manage your time?
How do I manage it? I don't know. just do. It's just something I've always done. I think from an early age, I've been selling stuff on eBay, random stuff as well. And when you get the taste of money, you taste that you can sell something. I don't think that ever leaves you. And for me, knowing that I've made, up to £170,000, I want to continue that. And that's what keeps me going, basically, knowing could I be the next Gymshark? Could I be the next X? You just don't know. And you've got to put in that time to develop yourself, develop the brand, develop your skills. You just got to keep developing and don't stop growing.
What advice do you have for someone who just starts out?
Main piece of advice: don't get attached to a product. Try and listen to your mentors, first of all. Read the data. And if you don't know how to read the data, get your mentor to show you how, and use the resources online through the YouTube channels in order to learn that. But yeah, those are the key takeaways: is don't get attached to a product, and be clever in killing ad sets if the data is not showing you something, or make changes to see if you see any changes in the data. So maybe the creative's not right, the ad copy, and make that iterative development and get to a point where you say, okay, well, I'm going to spend X amount of money on that ad set. I'm going to make a couple of tweaks. If that doesn't work, then you shut it off from an interest perspective and a product perspective as well. Because it could be that you've got a good product, but actually the people that you're targeting are not the right eyeballs for that product potentially. Talking
about analyzing data, did you rely on the data that you got from Facebook, or did you do something else?
That is another good question, actually, which I completely forgot about. But I didn't trust Facebook's data, especially as I started to get a lot more sales. And I was actually tracking everything through an Excel spreadsheet. So I was tracking my ROAS. This is via UTM tracking parameters, by the way. So that is another good point. One of the main pieces of advice is add the UTM tracking elements to your ads from the outset, basically. But yeah, I didn't trust what Facebook was telling me. So I had a paid app called Sense. I think it was called Sense UTM. It's like $9 or something like that, up to a certain order amount. And that actually removed the need for my Excel spreadsheet, because what I could see when I'm testing my interests is how many sales I'm getting on a particular ad set. And then I would be able to see day in, day out, okay, that's hit 7 sales now. Let's change that into a CBO or another campaign. And it meant it took time. It gave me time back, so I didn't have to use the Excel anymore. And now I have since moved to Triple Whale, which I'm still getting to grips with. I still don't understand it, and I actually don't trust Triple Whale either, because the data, you don't have to trust Facebook or trust Triple Whale, but there's disparities in the data. But you can only go off what you've got, essentially, and you've got to make your decision off what you see, whether you think it's right or not, and just see what happens.
My very last question: what's next?
What's next for me in this particular brand is I'm not going to focus on another store or find another product, essentially. But I will be taking this product that I've got, and I've already started working with a designer, a fashion designer, because it's a piece of clothing that I've been selling. And she's making me a tech pack. Or basically, I'm adapting this product based on our customers' feedback through judge.me. I can see what people are saying. So I'm basically gearing up now for next season, but now, and I'm making changes to this product. Is mine. I'm customizing it with my logo and making changes to it, and that's the next step for me, basically. And also I am starting to outsource quite a few things. So I've got a VA. She does a couple of things for me, and I've also just started using a couple of people to do some new creatives. So I'm about to test and launch an additional product. It's almost the same product, but it's a little bit different without giving away what my actual item is. So it's the same product, a little bit different, and it can be targeted at somebody, a niche completely different to the niche I'm in at the minute. So I've outsourced the video creatives to a couple of individuals through Upwork.com. Got a couple of different variations, so I'm going to test those soon, basically.
Amazing. Dear Mike, thank you very much for the tons of value that you shared with us, shared with the students. I hope that you take his advice seriously. That's like an example of someone who does the work, joins the calls. That's something like super important to be like, you booked the calls every single week and you joined, and now hopefully you can see that you can start seeing the results doing that. And hopefully it's not like the last time we'll see you here on this podcast. I'm sure that there's something going on now with the Ecom King and stuff like that. Maybe this video is coming after, like
maybe.
The stuff with
no spoilers.
No spoilers. So thank you very much. And
no problem.
Best of success, best of luck.
If any of the new students have got any questions, just pop me a message on the Discord channel. I'm happy to have a look at your store, make some suggestions, and just bounce ideas off. I'm available, so feel free to reach out.
See you on the next episode. Bye bye.
Cheers, Mo. Bye bye.